girl indeed. Louis Trevelyan was a man of whom all people said all good things. He might have been a fellow of his college had he not been a man of fortune. He might already, so Sir Rowley was told, have been in Parliament, had he not thought it to be wiser to wait a while. Indeed, he was very wise in many things. He had gone out on his travels thus young, not in search of excitement, to kill beasts or to encounter he knew not what novelty and amusement, but that he might see men and know the world. He had been on his travels for more than a year when the winds blew him to the Mandarins. Oh, how blessed were the winds! And moreover, Sir Rowley found that his son-in-law was well spoken of at the clubs by those who had known him during his university career, as a man popular as well as wise, not a bookworm, or a dry philosopher, or a prig. He could talk on all subjects, was very generous, a man sure to be honoured and respected, and then such a handsome, manly fellow, with short brown hair, a nose divinely chiselled, and Apollo's mouth 6 feet high, with shoulders and legs and arms in proportion, a pearl of pearls. Only, as Lady Rowley was the first to find out, he liked to have his own way. But his way is such a good way, said Sir Marmaduke. He will be such a good guide for the girls. But Emily likes her way too, said Lady Rowley. Sir Marmaduke argued the matter no further, but thought, no doubt, that such a husband as Louis Trevelyan was entitled to have his own way. He probably had not observed his daughter's temper so accurately as his wife had done. With 8 of them coming up around him, how should he have observed their tempers? At any rate, if there were anything amiss with Emily's temper, it would be well that she should find her master in such a husband as Louis Trevelyan. For nearly 2 years the little household in Curzon Street went on well, or if anything was the matter, no one outside of the little household was aware of it. And there was a baby, a boy, a young Louis, and a baby in such a household is apt to make things go sweetly. The marriage had taken place in July, and after the wedding tour there had been a winter and a spring in London, and then they passed a month or 2 at the seaside, after which the baby had been born. And then there came another winter and another spring. Nora Rowley was with them in London, and by this time Mr. Trevelyan had begun to think that he should like to have his own way completely. His baby was very nice, and his wife was clever, pretty, and attractive. Nora was all that an unmarried sister should be. But there had come to be trouble and bitter words. Lady Rowley had been right when she said that her daughter Emily also liked to have her own way. "If I am suspected," said Mrs. Trevelyan to her sister one morning, as they sat together in the little back drawing-room, "life will not be worth having." "How can you talk of being suspected, Emily? What does he mean, then, by saying that he would rather not have Colonel Osborne here? A man older than my own father, who has known me since I was a baby. He didn't mean anything of that kind, Emily. You know he did not, and you should not say so. It would be too horrible to think of." "It was a great deal too horrible to be spoken, I know. If he does not beg my pardon, I shall continue to live with him, of course, as a sort of upper servant, because of baby, but he shall know what I think and feel. If I were you, I would forget it. How can I forget it? Nothing that I can do pleases him. He is civil and kind to you because he is not your master, but you don't know what things he says to me. Am I to tell Colonel Osborne not to come? Heavens and earth! How should I ever hold up my head again if I were driven to do that? He will be here today, I have no doubt, and Louis will sit there below in the library and hear his step and will not come up. Tell Richard to say you are not at home. Yes, and everybody will understand why. And for what am I to deny myself in that way to the best and oldest friend I have? If any such orders are to be given, let him give them, and then see what will come of it." Mrs. Trevelyan had described Colonel Osborne truly as far as words went, in saying that he had known her since she was a baby, and that he was an older man than her father. Colonel Osborne's age exceeded her father's by about a month, and as he was now past 50, he might be considered perhaps in that respect to be a safe friend for a young married woman. But he was in every respect a man very different from Sir Marmaduke. Sir Marmaduke, blessed and at the same time burdened as he was with a wife and 8 daughters, and condemned as he had been to pass a large portion of his life within the tropics, had become at 50 what many people call quite a middle-aged man. That is to say, he was one from whom the effervescence and elasticity and salt of youth had altogether passed away. He was fat and slow, thinking much of his wife and 8 daughters, thinking much also of his dinner.